Good evening and a very warm welcome to Television Tonga's news package for tonight. Making headlines, Her Majesty Queen Anasba'u leads Tonga's National Walk for Jesus. Chair Lady of the Pacific Leadership Program braced the leadership of Tonga's first monarch, King George Dubois I, for being instrumental in transforming Tonga into a civilized country. And to end discrimination against HIV/AIDS is this year's theme for the World AIDS Day. These are more stories later on in this bulletin. I'm Fatai Fenga with your news for tonight. Her Majesty Queen Anasba'u, along with members of the royal family, led Tonga's National Intercessory Prayer and Walk for Jesus event in Nuku'alofa. The program highlighted the importance of seeking God's help and making Him the first priority in all areas of life.
There's no one like Jesus. There's no one like.
7 main areas which were represented as 7 mountains were highlighted in the intercessory prayer, which were family, government, church and religion, education, media and communication, art and entertainment, and business and economic. A special intercessory prayer was made by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Taboto'a Ulukalala for His Majesty George Dubois VI. Jehovah, I stand before you representing the King and the royal family in seeking your help, wisdom and your gracious guidance to help us in our role of protecting and taking care of the people and the nation. God and Tonga are my inheritance and it needs to be upheld from generation to generation. In a speech from Her Majesty Queen Anasba'u, she says families are facing many challenges these days. One rising problem that families face these days are the increase in single mothers and young mothers in Tonga. In a speech from Her Royal Highness Princess Mele Siluktapo Ganiwal-Fotofili, she retraced the history of how the first monarch, King George Dubois I, committed Tonga to God, adopted Christianity in Tonga, and called on the nation to continue his legacy. We need to adjust the way we look at our country, stop listening to other things which will affect how we live, and look at things that need to be changed. The road has been paved by the first King of Tonga for us to follow suit. Other representatives were called to pray on 7 specific areas, whereas the Honourable Prime Minister Lord Durano led a prayer for the government. Yesterday's event began with a walk for Jesus from Mamaloa grounds to the Pangai grounds in Nuku'alofa. Hundreds of people gathered to take part in the march representing various schools, churches, youth groups, organizations and businesses. The Chair Lady of the Pacific Leadership Program, Samoa's Minister of Justice, praised the leadership of Tonga's first monarch, King George Dubois I, for being instrumental in transforming Tonga into a civilized country. This was revealed in a flag-raising ceremony for Leadership Week in the Kingdom. Silando with the details.
Hey!
Leadership Week in Tonga is marked with a flag-raising ceremony on Monday at the flagpole in Nuku'alofa. In a speech from Samoa's Minister of Justice, Honourable Fiame Naomi Mata'afa, she said an example of a good leader is King George Dubois I.
This event we are holding as we commemorate your founder of modern Tonga, His Majesty Tupou George I. And it is fitting that we should be talking leadership in his memory. He was your founder of modern Tonga. He unified the country, and he promulgated the Constitution on the tenets of international law, customs and traditions, and of course, our Christian faith.
In a speech from the patron of the Tonga National Leadership Development Forum, Lord Tuiafitu, he says it is vital to educate our children on becoming a good leader in the future. In the remarks from a member of the Tonga National Leadership Development Forum, Siosi Mafi, she says people can be shaped into a good leader.
The priority was to enhance the enabling environment for everyone to realize and develop their leadership skills, characteristics, and qualities. Everyone is a leader one way or another.
A number of training events and activities are held for village leaders and youth during the Pacific Leadership Program, which ends this Thursday. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sini Lato.
Village leaders are called to take the lead in advocating to end violence against women and children. This is the aim, a focus of this year's 16 Days of Activism to mark White Ribbon Day. Again, Sin Lato with more net story.
The 16 Days of Activism started November 25th and ends next Tuesday, December 10th. The Deputy CEO of the Women's Affairs Division under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Bolotu Paunga, told Television and Radio Tonga News that a training program is underway for district and town officers on the issue. There's hope that village leaders who are mostly men will take the lead and raise awareness on combating all forms of violence against women and children.
The district and town officers, they are our main focus this year to raise awareness on what White Ribbon is and the White Ribbon message and so forth. So we're hoping that the training that we are conducting, the awareness raising that we are conducting, that would help with the level of violence reported to the police and to the crisis centres. At this period, it's really quite relevant for Tonga that we continue to raise awareness on the issue of violence in the home and especially violence against women and children.
A similar training for village leaders is held in the Outer Islands.
We'll be looking at the 6 other districts in the Tonga Tapu. We are going to go out to all these districts, and we have invited all the district and town officers of that district, and we have also included the Outer Islands. So Vava'o, we had conducted 2 trainings there for the Neiafu and the other district, the second district there as well. And then we will be continuing with Ha'apai today and Ewa. And then we will return and conduct the other districts before the end of the 16 Days of Activism, which is on 10th of December.
Mrs. Paunga adds that this year's theme is centered on men, as a majority of cases of violence against women and children is carried out by them. Moreover, important international days fall within the 16 Days of Activism, such as HIV/AIDS, rights of people with disability, and human rights. These internationally recognized days has a significant connection to ending all forms of violence against women and children. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sini Lato.
Tonga marked World AIDS Day on Sunday, December 1st. This year's theme is to end discrimination against HIV/AIDS. The director of the Tonga Family Health Association, Dipaleli Hoponoa, says a major challenge faced by HIV and AIDS victims in Tonga is being discriminated against by society. Ansi Falikano reports.
The director of the Tonga Family Health Association says the latest statistics they have on HIV and AIDS in Tonga revealed 19 HIV-positive victims in Tonga, and 2 of them are still alive and residing in the kingdom. She also adds the challenges that their victims are going through. It's not important to know the name of those who have HIV and AIDS. What's more important is that you protect yourself from getting it. This is why we're highlighting this year's theme. We've seen a lot of discrimination in Tonga. For example, if a person is walking on the road, you don't know anything about that person, but you will judge that person just by her or his appearance. Mrs. Hoponoa also appeals to all stakeholders to work together in raising awareness on living a safe and healthy lifestyle in order to combat the risk of HIV and AIDS. People need to be aware that HIV and AIDS is increasing in Tonga, that you can confirm with the statistics. A majority of these numbers are youth under the age of 25. Stakeholders are working closer together to address such problems where activities such as the 16 Days of Activism and Leadership Week are underway. In a message from the Director General of UNESCO on the occasion of World AIDS Day, Irina Bokova says, globally, new HIV infections are down by 33% in 2012 from 2001. She says this is due to the distribution of life-saving antiretroviral treatment. Furthermore, the United Nations is set to exceed its goal on ensuring that 15 million people worldwide receive treatment by 2015.
The project manager of the Vava'u Solar Farm, Rami Abulaila, revealed that the solar farm can generate up to 70% solar energy for the island. He made the statement during a ceremony to officially open the Vava'u Solar Farm. Galaini Tonglawa takes up that story.
The Vava'u Solar Farm project is estimated at more than 7 million ba'anga. In a ceremony to mark the completion of the project, the manager Rami Abulaila revealed that this development project contributes to the country's energy sector.
The technology used in this plant demonstrates innovation in renewable energy. The project is the fourth in the world, the first in the Pacific, that utilizes state-of-the-art grid integration methods that enable a compelling 70% solar energy utilization by the island during peak sun hours.
The solar energy is environment friendly and saves cost.
This solar power plant feeds over 800 megawatt hours of clean energy each year into the Vava'uan grid. It replaces over 280,000 liters of diesel fuel, of expensive diesel fuel, and reduces over 700 tons of CO2 emissions per year. It delivers approximately 17% of the people of Vava'u's annual electricity demand. To be clear, 17, powering many households and many dollars saved by using clean energy from the sun. This facility represents a piece of secure new energy future for the Kingdom of Tonga. This island nation has indeed embarked on an important journey to balance its energy mix and address its long-term energy demands.
Mr. Abulaila praised Tonga for taking the initiative in pursuing solar energy.
Today, only 30% of Pacific Island countries have access to reliable sources of energy. Renewable energy, for example, on such a sunny day, tapping into the power of the sun, is a cost-competitive and long-term solution to delivering energy access throughout the region. Tonga's leadership and vision on this front serves as a shining example for other island nations.
The establishment of Vava'u Solar Farm is a gift from the government of the United Arab Emirates, UAE. The guest of honor at the official opening of the solar farm was His Royal Highness Crown Prince Tuboto'a Ugalala. Also present were the Honourable Prime Minister Lord Tuivano, Minister of Finance and National Planning Lisiate Akolo, Minister of Commerce, Tourism and Labour Dr. William Latu, the Governor of Vava'u Lord Fulivai and many guests.
From the Supreme Court, the trial of the three accused of the death of a 14-year-old girl in August this year has been adjourned to January 23rd next year. The decision was made after the Crown Prosecutor requested for additional time to review the case, including all the charges made and a medical report provided from the Ministry of Health. The three accused are Fifita Ofa, Thomas Ofa, and Moalato Mohuni. They are allegedly charged for manslaughter and abetting to commit a crime. In their first appearance in the Supreme Court, Justice Charles Cato ordered the accused not to speak or associate with some of the neighbours as they are witnesses for the prosecution. Justice Cato also stressed that it's important that they abide by the court rules, and if they breach it, they'll be taken into custody and await for the trial. All three accused are released on bail. In a separate case, the trial of the accused, Epola Vai Foliaki, has been adjourned until January 23rd. The accused pleaded guilty to the charges of hitting a 4-year-old boy with her vehicle along Taufaha Road at Hateho. Justice Kato says his ruling in this case will be delivered next year. And that's the local news. Sports is up next with Pierre Ollier.